Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Teach Me Tech. I am your hostess, Laurel Gray, and I am joined here by the marvelous Braydan Willwrath from a business called Digital Efficiency. Say hello.
Hello. Good to be here.
Woohoo! And today is an episode about a topic that I know absolutely nothing about. It is a tool called Trello. And today we're going to talk about how you can get started with Trello and begin using it in your business immediately, right now. So, two quick things before we get started. Make sure that you follow along with this one. From what Braydan has told me, it's super easy setup. So make sure that you've got your laptop or your computer in front of you and you are following along. I don't think they'll need a mobile device or anything today, will they?
No. It'd be good to have one if you have one with you because you can test it out, but yeah, don't need one.
Don't need one, just a computer. Beautiful. Second thing, ask and share. If you want to make any comments along the way, feel free to use the hashtag TeachMeTech and share on social media or ask any questions that you've got. So, what are we going to cover today? First of all, what is Trello? What it's good for and what it's not good for. Okay, I'm looking forward to this one, clearing all that up. Why would you use Trello? What are the advantages and disadvantages? Getting started, what you're going to need, how to set up the account and pick the plan, and then a basic use overview. So we're going to consolidate all of that in so that we can just jump into how to work with boards, lists, and cards, and how to make things flow, my favorite activity. How to build a workflow that suits your business, all right? So I'm getting the sense that Trello probably involves some kind of automation here.
It does.
How to automate that workflow using additional tools that we've talked about before, Zapier, Forms, etc. Some examples of automated workflows, which I love examples, I'm looking forward to that. Some use cases for Trello around web development, cooking recipes, a couple of other ones. And finally, power-ups and integration. So how are you going to do more with the software using add-ons? Woohoo! Let's get started. I literally can't wait, because people ask me all the time, have you used Trello before? Why should I use Trello? And I actually have to kind of lie to them and say, I don't lie, but I kind of just skim over it.
Skim over it.
Yeah, so I'm really excited because Braydan is here to talk about what Trello is and what it's good for and not good for. So start us off. What the heck is it?
Trello is an online cloud-based app that you can use on your computer and on your phone and on your tablet and on your Apple Watch. And it's useful for managing tasks. So you use it to, make a list of tasks and then, actually manage it. So make sure that you get things done. So it's good for step-by-step workflows and not just, a paper-based list where you'd write things down. You can actually, have something to do. Let's say, you've got to call mum. And then underneath that, you can have checkboxes. So call mum to talk about, lunch tomorrow, signing the divorce papers or something like that.
Wow.
So
Things got real just then.
So yeah, it's a very useful tool in terms of that. You've got your lists, you've got your boards, which we'll talk about in a bit, and it's pretty cool.
Okay, wow. So it sounds like it's targeted towards businesses that have got some kind of automation component, and you can have lists, and it sounds like kind of subtasks, but it's not really linear. It sounds like it's more of a flow that's happening.
Yeah, more of a flow, because usually when you've got a main task, which we refer to call mum, it's not just, if you just write down call mum, then you don't know what else you need to do. So if you've actually got, call mum, and then you've got your list of things to do underneath that, that's going to be really helpful towards accomplishing that task and then checking off those little things.
Beautiful. Well, you know how much I love David Allen and the book Getting Things Done.
It's a pretty good book.
He always talks about an amorphous blob of things or tasks that go on in your head and how to extract those little bits and pieces. So essentially you're saying that Trello is good for prompting around what other tasks you've got to do from the main task.
Pretty much, yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Now, what is Trello good for other than that?
Look, I think the advantages of Trello are that by having that list online, you've got it accessible everywhere. So you can access it from your phone, you can access it on your watch, you can access it on your computer, on your iPad. And because it's a cloud-based app, you've got that collaboration element to it. So it's not just about me having my own personal list that I'm going to accomplish. It's about, and we're going to go through that, having a workflow and actually being able to assign those tasks to other people and, have them complete it and have them check off certain things. And often what you find in a business is that, there's a task that requires more than one person's input. So having that collaboration around, I need to accomplish this, then being able to assign certain tasks to certain people to have them do it, and then being able to see a status update or see where they're at. So you can actually see, this person's done their bit, so now I need to get this person to follow up on this bit. Or, you want to look at a task and be able to go, okay, where are we up to on this task? What do I need to do next?
So it sounds like it gives quite a lot of transparency when you're working in a team environment.
It definitely does. Yep.
Awesome.
Cool.
Always looking for that as a major component of any tool that we talk about here on Teach Me Tech. So tell me a little bit more about what Trello's not good for.
Good question. So look, Trello is very useful for, that whole collaboration aspect. What it's not useful for, because of that collaboration aspect, is if you need to work offline quite often. So if you're like, let's say a tradie in the field and you're going out to places where you've got no service, Trello's not an ideal tool. It would still work, but you can't bring up your lists and type on things when you're offline. It's also not that good for super complex workflows. So if you've got a lot of step-by-step workflows or if this then that workflows. So for example, if you've got if the customer wants this, then do this kind of thing, then Trello's not going to be your ideal task. It can still work in those cases, but it doesn't have the ability to go, okay, if this is ticked, then do this, or if this is ticked, then do this. So it doesn't have that element.
Okay, got it. That's good to know. Because we want to make sure that we know the pros and cons of any tool that we choose beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, excellent. Well, and you'll be able to see more about how Trello actually works very shortly. But before that, I guess I'm curious. Look, I'll be really honest. You know that I go on and on about Asana all the time. And I'm pretty much like, woohoo, Asana, let's just get everybody on that. But obviously, it's an open market. There are a lot of different software choices out there.
There are.
So given that Asana, as we know, is quite a linear task management software where you have regular tasks and then subtasks, and it's just listed out. You can rearrange the order, but otherwise it's not like, I wouldn't say, a very visual tool. Yep. Can we do a little comparison, or can you walk us through what are the pros and cons of Asana versus Trello and vice versa?
Yeah, look, good question. I love Asana and I use it quite often in my business, but I think there are, obviously tools for different businesses. Trello is much more visual in that you have what they call a Kanban board, which is a very visual board with your lists and then your tasks inside those lists. And then you can open up your cards, which we'll see a little bit later. Once you open up those cards, you then have elements inside them. Whereas when it comes to something like Asana is more project-based, where you've got the project, you go into it, and then you've got all of the things that you need to do, and then you can drill down even further into the sub-things that you need to do. So Asana would be quite a lot more useful if you've got a lot of little tasks or sub-tasks underneath one major task, whereas I think Trello would be a lot better, more suited for visual. So, you can have... If you had Asana up on a TV in your office, probably wouldn't look that great because it's a bit hard to read. But if you had Trello up on a TV in your office, you can actually see, the difference between what's happening and how many tasks are waiting to be done, whether it's how many tasks have been completed or how many tasks are ready to be reviewed. And you've got that instant flow of being able to see, okay, I've got everything in this list and I want to move it all to this list by the end of the day.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense to me now. It sounds like actually you could have both. And you could have like specific projects that are maybe more administrative oriented on Asana, where you've got lists and maybe like bucket projects of things to tick off along the way. But Trello might be for more like development projects where you know that you've got to move from one phase to the next and you need a visual confirmation.
I think so.
Is that right?
I think so. And I mean, I think if you watch the video that you did on Asana and the video we're about to do on Trello, you'd be able to make up your own mind as to what's going to work better for your business. It could even be down to personal preference. Like if you're a very list-oriented person and you don't need a lot of visual stuff, then perhaps Asana will work quite well. If you like visual, or even your employees are very visual, then Trello is probably a better option for that.
Okay, great. Awesome. Cool. Would there be any other tools that we would consider other than Asana or Trello in this space that would be very close? Just out of curiosity.
I don't think very close. I think Asana and Trello are good because they're free to get started, and they'll give you a very good sense and help you build that workflow around your business. How you work through a process. Then, if you get bigger or larger or more specific in what you're doing, you can look at other more refined tools that are suited specifically to your niche. So you could start out as a trade company on something like Trello, and then look into other apps that would be more suited to those businesses. So I think getting started with something like Trello and Asana is a good way to start. But then you can move into more specific tools later.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm sold. I'm ready to get started for sure. And I know you mentioned to me beforehand, getting started is not super complex.
No,
so what
very
we'd
easy.
love to do is cram in how you can actually get everything set up, how to pick the right plan, and then do a little bit of an overview on the account configuration, just sort of in one go.
Cool, let's do it.
So yeah, I'm ready. Take it
Sweet.
away.
Well, if we take a look at the computer here, we can look at Trello.com, very simple URL, and then there's a big green sign up button. So let's click on that one.
They make it pretty obvious.
They do. Now look, if you've got a Google account and you use Google Apps, you'll see that down the bottom here there's a sign up with Google. I'd encourage you to do that if you have a Google account, because then things link and it takes all that information over for you. If not, we can just make our own account at the top here.
Wow, that's a really interesting sample name that they've got there. Guybrush something.
It is a bit random. Let's make our John Doe account. So
All right.
admin@demo.company.
I like how it's dough, like dough.
So
Excellent.
we've got our name, our email, and our password, and we're going to hit create account,
Okay.
and that's going to load up. And now we have our account.
That's
Now,
it?
That's it. That's all you need to do to get into Trello.
Oh my gosh. And awesome. It does say to confirm the email account, and it looks like it's picked up the photo of John.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.